West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 2. We've got to talk about that now, which is very hard. It's going to be hard to find the words because listen, I am, and I know Ryan is, I'm devastated. I am gutted. To go from winning to losing like that, it is horrible. And it almost feels like that's it. We've been relegated, right? Like me and you sat here probably a few days ago, right? And doing the same show, and we felt, like shit after that. We felt like it's not looking good. We're probably going to go down. It's all in the Forest. Like now, it feels like it's done. Like it feels like it's done to me. I know there's a lot of games, but that was a killer.
Yeah, it's a killer blow, mate. To go from being in a position, of winning the game, being 1 point behind to now being 7 points behind. It's a big gap, and I know that. Look, there's a lot of games to play this season. There's a lot of points to play for, but I just can't see it, mate. I just can't see us getting out of that. And Forest, they haven't won in 4 games. They come there tonight, and in the second half, they wanted it more, And look, we can talk about VAR and decisions, and at the end of the day, we just haven't been good enough. We haven't been good enough all season. It's ironic that the game that Nuno lost his job for Forest was when we beat them, and he could lose his job tonight with Forest beating him. It's it's a funny game, football, but look, I know we've got to talk a little bit about the game, obviously, but the starting lineup. I said in the chat earlier, I was quite pleased with the starting lineup. It was refreshing to see something different, and I thought we started the game really well. I mean, Forest had spells in the first half. We had spells. And we took our chance. It's what Souček does, doesn't he? Souček's there for them reasons. He flicked it on. It's gone in own goal, but we haven't had much luck this season. And you think to yourself, yeah, it might be our night, might a little bit of luck, but it's just West Ham, innit, mate? It's what we do, as David Moyes famous saying.
Yeah, it is
what we do. We just can't. We just can't hold on to leads. We knew we was going to concede. It's mad. As I said, mate, football's a funny game. You find yourself 2-0 up, the slightest of offside, that goes in 2-0. I think it's game over. Yeah. But yeah, they go down the other end shortly after that, and then they score a similar sort of goal to us. We've got the smallest player on the pitch on the back post.
I said that. Yeah. What the fuck? What are we like? Literally, Souček. As I was saying when I was watching it, Souček was right next to him. All you have to do is swap them round. Why don't you have Souček on the back post? Then that don't go in if Souček's there.
I mean, look. Obviously, the new signing, Tatty. He's got a first start tonight. I thought he looked lively. Closing the ball down. He looked a little bit off of it, a bit rusty. His touches and that, but. He's just been chucked straight in the deep end in the Premier League, so you expected that. But I like the way he was closing the ball down, and yeah, I mean that's probably the only highlight I could take from tonight. Even when Pedro come on, same again. He looked a little bit heavy touches at first, but he sort of settled into it. For me, Bowen tonight was frustrating the life out of me. Why does Bowen always? I find him a bit greedy sometimes. I find it that when he gets in the box and he's got his head down, he's only got one thing in his mind, and that's I'm shooting for goal. He never looks up to see what's around him.
He never looks up to even see if where the goal is. Like he just kicks it, and it just like, well, that's nowhere near the goal. He's not even looking where.
Did I just call him Pedro? It's Pablo, isn't it? I can't. Whoever was on the pitch, it could have been fucking
Pedro Obiang, get him back.
Yeah, mate. I just feel like this is the night that, like, for me, 4 games ago, I was not really sitting there saying, I was going to judge us on these next 4 games, and what I've seen in these last 4 games, I don't think we've got a chance now. I really don't. I don't think we've got the experience. I don't think we've got the players. I don't think we've got the right manager. Whether that's going to be Nuno still, I don't know. You see the crowd tonight. There's about 15,000 empty seats there. And that's not down to it being cold. That's down to people just thinking, I can't be bothered tonight. You know, and in a big game like this, and I don't blame people. I really don't blame people. You know, you see when they pan around the crowd, you can just see it on people's faces. I think that, you know, we might have been kidding ourselves a bit, thinking we might get out of this. I just think we're poor. It wouldn't surprise me, mate, if we finish this season bottom. Wouldn't surprise me if Wolves go on a little run now and we finish rock bottom. And it's what we deserve. We're the worst team in the Premier League by far.
Easily. You know, look at our goal difference now, -21. Wolves are only 5 off us now. The goal difference between us and Wolves was massive. And you just can't, I can't see where we win another game because we've got Spurs, Sunderland, and Chelsea coming up. I can't fathom beating any of those teams. Like, where are we going to win? Like, we can't beat Fulham, Brighton, Wolves, or Forest. Like, we can't beat these teams. So what do we expect? I just think everything it felt like when I saw full time, I saw Nuno, and you know, I actually kind of felt for Nuno. Like, Nuno looked how I felt. Like, I kind of related to him. But the players, the way they reacted, you know, like Mavropanos, all that, it looked like we were relegated. Do you know what I mean? It looked like how you'd see reactions at the last game of the season. We're officially down.
Yeah, it looks like some of the players accepted it. Which, do you know what? For us as fans, we know we're shit. We know we're probably going to go down now. But if this is a boxing match, we want our team to be a fighter that's going to go the distance and try to get to the 12th round and try to put up a bit of a fight. But it ain't going to happen.
Go down swinging.
The way we're playing at the moment, mate, we wouldn't even make the weigh-in. They'd call off the fight. We're dog shit. But, yeah, look, the penalty, look, for me, it's one of them ones. Look, with me West Ham head, I'm thinking, nah, it's not a penalty. He's looking at the ball, but he's clattered into him. He's took him out. You know, if that was down the other end, we'd be screaming penalty. So it's the right decision. It's just hard.
The only thing I thought about, I don't know what you think, right, is the only thing I thought when I looked at it, he has clattered into him, but the geezer wasn't getting the ball. Like, we'd already won the ball. So it was, we haven't stopped him from scoring. So that was my only thing where I thought maybe you might say not penalty, you know?
Yeah. I mean, look, we could go back to like our decision on when you look at VAR. Okay, he's offside, but he's running away from goal. You know, I know offside's offside, but it's frustrating when some weeks you see them, you know, not given. You know, and it just feels like everything's going against us at the moment. And look, most of it's down to our own problems, our own faults. I'm not blaming VAR week in, week out or referees, but sometimes there are decisions I see in games like today. I see our players getting fouled and the referee's waving play on. And then yet down the other end, about 15 seconds later, we hardly touched their player. I think it was Gibbs White. He's gone down and the refs give a free kick. And I'm like, mate, you've just watched Somerville get cleaned out on the edge of the box. That was without Pablo getting taken out just before that Somerville foul. So I just think when you're down there, mate, everything goes against you. And it's tough. It's hard to watch, you know, because I think as fans now, I think most of us are accepting it. 7 points is too much. It's a big gap.
When you go 2 months without seeing your team win, you cannot imagine picking up the sort of points that you need and going on the sort of run that you need to go on. Like, say, look, I think we're going to win a game eventually. It just happens, right? Wolves eventually won. Like, we'll probably win a game at some point. But then, like I've said many times, that we've got it in us then to win the next one and then go and get a draw and then another win and a loss, a win and a win. We've got enough in us to go and get multiple wins in a short time. And I don't think we have. I don't think we have. Someone said we didn't. I think a draw was a fair result. We hadn't actually scored a goal that game. Our goal was one of the worst own goals you'll see. I don't know what Murillo was doing in that. But
it's a game of two halves in it, mate, because I think the who they brought on at half time, was it Bakwa? I think that was his name. I mean,
they brought him on and off.
Yeah, they obviously identified in the first half that Ollie Scholes was getting the better of their winger. So they changed it up. And in the second half, he was causing problems. And that's why I think Scholes come off and he put Myers on just to sort of stick on him, stick with his man. But
Yeah. It's the thing is with us as well. I always feel like we haven't got that that longevity in a game. Like we'll have a spell early in the game, and you think, all right, we're all right, and we just burn out. And I looked at that right when they put 7 minutes up on the board. I've seen so many games when they throw that and you go, shit, we've got a lot of time here. You see that team that's losing or chasing the game go and throw everything. Let's go. Let's do it.
See, I thought when the fourth official put that board up, he was taking a piss out of us, telling us what the points gap was.
Yeah, wasn't it? It's 7, isn't it? But there was no. But you think that would G you up? It's like, okay, we got 7 minutes here. We've got nothing to lose. Let's just go mental. Who gives a shit? Our goal difference is already bollocks, so it don't matter if they go up and score. They're parking the bus. They've taken back off, and they put a defender on. Let's throw everything. But it just didn't feel like we did. We was making more shit misplaced passes, and crap through balls and shit where there's nothing on, rather than really putting our foot on the neck, really putting the pressure on, like you see teams do to us. There was none of that. We just gave up, and that's the problem with this team. No. They've never had any fight all season. Not a bit of it.
I totally agree, mate. That is the problem. There's no fight out there. Even in like the first half, I thought we were putting in tackles. Like Souček was getting in the tackles, Scholes was putting in the tackles, and like even having Paqueta back was a boost because you can see the difference when he's on the pitch. But second, it was like I've said, it was a game of two halves. Like once that second goal was ruled out, it sort of knocked us. As soon as they scored, if they wouldn't have scored as soon as they did, and we'd have seen that out, we probably would have gone on to maybe win that game. But once they equalised, it's all season. It's been happening. The heads drop. They get nervous. They fear that they're going to lose, and then you feel that around the stadium, and you feel it. You can see it. Even Nuno. I agree with you. I felt a bit sorry for Nuno tonight. You could see it in his face that I think he knows now that could be it for him. He could be, which is. He's just brought in 2 players that have probably signed for the club for him, but that's football at the end of the day. And look, if he goes, who do we bring in? I don't know. Yeah. I can't answer that. I know there's been talks of bringing Slaven Bilic in. I'm not really a fan of that decision, but if he comes in, obviously, of course, I get behind him. I get behind every manager that comes in this football club.
But I think at this point, if you get a manager in, I just think we need to, unless there's going to be something in the summer, you just go, that's our manager for the championship. Like you either stick with Nuno and think, okay, well, he can have a preseason, have transfers, and we will trust Nuno to get us back up. Or you get Nuno out, and if you do want Bilic, then you just stick with him until the July. I don't want to see this interim, and then because we're in a real difficult position. It's going to need a miracle worker to come in and get something out of these players to the point where we get enough wins on the board, because I just don't see nothing there. Under Potter or Lopetegui, you think if another manager could just squeeze more out and do this and do that, right? You think, I can see us kicking on, like. But I can't see another manager getting enough out of this team to where we can, survive.
The problem is that we're in that position now where not only do we need to win our games, but we're also looking at what the other teams are doing. And that's the worst thing, because if they play early kickoffs and they win, you go into your game thinking, or if they lose, the pressure's on to win. So we're in a difficult, but we've put ourselves in this position, and now we just have to pray that something clicks this season, that we go on a mad run of games and drag ourselves out of it. I mean, 7 points is a lot to make up, but look, we've been in worse positions before. The Great Escape season, we was, I think, 12, 13 points adrift at one point. And then we just went on that mad run towards the end of the season. But I don't know. I don't see it. Back then, I could see it in the group of players we had. I don't see it in these players. And it's going to be if any game was crying out tonight for Callum Wilson to play in, it was this game. And he looks like he's leaving the football club, which is
let's talk about that. Apparently they've terminated the deal, mate. Like apparently they've terminated the contract. They've agreed to let him go. They brought in these 2 players that have never kicked a ball in the Premier League and got rid of him. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the thing is, like, Callum Wilson now will probably go and maybe sign for a Forest or a Leeds, and he could come back to bite us in the arse. I don't get the decision. You know, you're bringing in 2 unproven players into the Premier League. Like, we've released 3 strikers this week, Fulkrug, Wilson, and we've just loaned out the youngster as well, Callum Marshall. And now we've got the 2 new players in.
Yeah, we have a completely different strike force that we started the season with.
Yeah. So we're less now than what we thought weren't enough. Yeah. Which I just don't get the decision. I honestly think that Sullivan and the rest of the board, they are preparing for relegation, and I think deep down they want relegation. I think they want relegation, and I don't know why. I really don't know why, but I think that they do, and I think they want to get a lot of big earners off the books, and I think they just want to start again. I think they would hate it if we actually did go on a good run and stay up.
Maybe.
I don't get any of the decisions that are being made at this football club. This ain't my football club no more. This ain't the same football club that I grew up supporting. We've been in worse situations than this, but I've never felt like this, and that's the difference.
It's worse than Avram Grant, definitely. Yeah, I think so.
I don't feel any connection with this football club anymore. It's fucking, honestly.
Same. So yeah, absolutely. I said on the show that, you know, we're talking about the players leaving. I don't have any sort of feeling about, like, if Bowen goes, or if fucking this player goes, or, you know, Wan-Bissaka. I don't have any attachments to these players. Like, if they go, I won't feel anything. So
no, I think the only one for me would obviously be Bowen, because obviously his history with the football club and what he done, and it'd be gutting, especially if he goes to a rival or something like that. But yeah,
I don't know. I was still a little bit on my feelings on Bowen, but yeah, I'll read this super chat. Adam, I think that's Keo, 499 super chat, says, "Heads up, boys. There's a toffee. Been through the ringer last few seasons, so I know the feeling of relegation. Got to grit your teeth and get behind them." I just think they had Goodison. That was a massive factor. Riz, £2 super chat. Sully ruined this club. Sack Nuno, bring in Noble. Yeah, they don't, like, you bring him in, but he's not going to keep us up, Nobes. And look, the thing is with them, you know, I think he's just useless. Like, I don't necessarily think that they want us to go, because I think if they wanted us to go down, they might as well just kept Graham Potter and saved themselves some money. I just think that he's in that situation where he just don't know what the fuck to do. He hasn't known what to do. So he just jumped from decision to decision. He's got, we'll go Lopetegui, he's out of contract. Oh, Lopetegui's not working out. Oh, Potter, like, he's Brady's fucking mate. Potter's not working out. Oh, Nuno's just been sacked. Like, he just jumps to all of these, like, what's the quick, easy solution? And it's the same with transfers.
We've always done it, though, mate, with managers. We never pay compensation for managers. I think the last time was when we got Pardew from Reading in 2003. Like, we always get managers that are out of work, and they're always out of work for a reason, because they was poor at their previous club. And we just always want to do everything on the cheap, whether it's, as you said, signing players, you know, managers, fucking training ground, stadium, everything is on the cheap. And these owners have just run this football club into the ground. And if they've got any love for this football club, they need to sell and just let it go. They need to, because this fucking, they've, like, I know there's a lot of fans and rival fans on here, and you're going to expect it. But if they was to be in our situation, if they had their home taken away from them, like Tottenham have got a new ground, but they're still in the same place. Arsenal, the Emirates, is literally a stone's throw away from Highbury. No, but they're purpose-built football stadiums, beautiful stadiums. What have we got? Yeah. We've got an Olympic. Yeah. We've got an Olympic stadium that most people will remember it for fucking Super Saturday when Mo Farah won a gold medal. You know, I just.
That's it. That's what they've left us with. That's what you know.
And the sad thing is, mate, is the least we've got in that stadium. We've got that for the rest of our lives. That's where we're going to go and watch West Ham play. Look, we'll still look. I'm not going to be one of these supporters that say, "Oh, fuck, I'm never supporting this football club again," because I'm not. Because, as I said, we've been in the Championship before. But it's about how we just react this season. I want to see some sort of fight back, some sort of reaction from these players that if we're going to go down, at least go down, as you said, swinging, fighting, scrapping.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's what you want to see, is go down with some dignity. You know what I mean? Not like this, just a whimper. Tom McBride here with a 1.99 super chat. Thank you very much, mate. Just tuned in. Is it definitely a write-off, lads? I'd say it's pretty much 99%. Like in my eyes, anyway. I'm not saying that's a fact, but it's just how I feel. It's all right. It's like, always, like I said, try, fight, because if you do get, we're probably down. But if the team actually go and start to fight, and then you get a win, and then sometimes luck goes again, you don't know. Like, you got to put yourself in a position to do it. It's like my mum, we were talking about the darts, right, the other day, and its analogy is when you have the dart players and they're like so far away from the double and your opponent's on the double, and you see dart players because they know, oh, he's probably going to hit his double, and they just start chucking away darts. They're not trying to score because they've just given up on that leg. It's like, no, if you really put the pressure on, you don't know, they might miss the double. They might miss. And then you're in a position now where you could fucking check out. And that's kind of what it's all that's how we have to do it. We just have to fucking try, lose, because we might be in a position where the other teams slip up. That's all we can hope for.
I mean, when you look at what we've got coming up, you take away the game on Saturday in the FA Cup, you've got Spurs, Sunderland at home, Spurs away, Sunderland at home, Chelsea away, and I think we play Burnley and then Man United. I mean, Man United have just got a new manager, a temporary manager, but they're going to go on a run now. Yeah. Burnley. Yeah, Burnley's one of them games where you don't know what can happen. We could lose 4-0 up there.
Yeah.
Spurs ain't great at home, but Spurs are better than us. So, and Chelsea have got a new manager as well.
Thing is, a lot of people are saying that I'm delusional or this. Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm 99% sure we're going down. I'm not optimist. I'm delusional. What I'm saying is, that doesn't mean you give up, because there's still that 1%. So if you keep trying to win and you don't win, but you eventually maybe get it, there's always that element of luck. So what I'm saying is, there's no point in the players fucking giving up. Keep trying, because there's a small, tiny chance. It's football. Anything can happen in football. What I'm saying is, I think we're down. But I'm saying that there's no reason, because I think we're down, for the players to throw in the towel. Keep trying, because it's not over till it's over officially. It's unlikely, because we look at it and we don't believe in the team. We don't believe the team going to run. They're the team. It's in their hands to try and prove us wrong. So for them, don't give up. That's what I'm saying.
You know what, right? If you think about it as well, that result has probably just affected our transfer window as well, because there's going to be players out there now that are probably thinking, no, I don't fancy that.
Yeah.
I don't fancy that now. So
100%. Craig Edwards, 4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Craig. It says, none of us feel West Ham is West Ham anymore. We rely on you keeping our passion burning. Chin up. We will outlast these charlatans. Big love, Dan and Ryan. Spot on, mate. We will outlast them. 100%, mate. Real well said. And that's all we got to think, is that's the positivity, right? Is they'll be gone. I can say this. They'll be gone. So I says Sullivan isn't spending money. That'll be interesting how Sullivan responds in this transfer window. If he goes, yeah, there's no point now. He's like we'll just fucking cut our losses now. We're probably going down. Let's prepare for the championship. Or if he tries to really, we'll see what he wants in the next week, what he thinks. But the thing with the Nuno thing, I said this the other day. If he was gonna sack him, if it was on this game where if Nuno was gonna lose, if Nuno lost, he'd be sacked. Why spend over 40 million on these two players?
Yeah,
because there was always a chance we was going to lose this game.
And I don't like that. I don't like that as well when they say he's got the Forest game. Why put that pressure on him as well? Just say, just either sack him or just say you're a manager to the end of the season. Let's see what you can do. But yeah, I think it's going to be, obviously, we've got the distraction of the FA Cup on Saturday, which I don't think really anyone gives a shit about. The only thing that is going to be positive out of that is that the new signings get a little bit more minutes under their belt. So
new signings get more minutes. Maybe we'll see fringe players on the bench come in. Maybe we'll get to see Myers actually start and see a bit more of Myers and players like that. And that's it. That's it really. But I said this yesterday and it weren't popular. But I just said like what you said. Don't give a shit. Like I love the FA Cup. Would love to win it, but we've got no chance. Even if we beat QPR, like it don't matter because we're going to beat the next team. Like maybe we can get a little bit of like we'll break the curse and we've won a game, but it's still like it's a tall mountain to climb. To be honest with you. So look, we'll just keep. Listen, we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep covering this, talking about it, watching it. And hopefully, listen, do you know what? And I'm not being delusional because I think we're going down. But the way we feel now is if we do somehow, some way, pull off a miracle, it's going to feel amazing.
Yeah, I hope we're sitting there in May on that last game of the season, mate, talking about how we somehow got out of this. But that's a long way off.
It's a long way. Yeah, I just wish the season would end, mate. I just wish it would end. End it.
Yeah, so do I, mate.
It's a madness. But you're right. We could finish 20th.
I'd love to see what's being said in that dressing room at the moment. I'd love to see.
I see Nuno going up to Todibo and they was having a bit of a chat, and it just seemed, I don't know, like the whole body language just seemed defeated. It just seemed defeated. Like the players, there was no anger. It was just acceptance. So
yeah, but
yeah.
Oh well. Well, I suppose we're back for post-match pint tomorrow.
So we can spend even longer talking about it. Maybe we'll go to sleep and have some revelation of how we
game. Gotta say though, I know it's been a shit night, but that save by Areola in the first half was world class. I know it ain't led to anything, but what a great save. But
stopped our goal difference being -22 instead of -21.
One day, I don't know when, but one day we will win and we will keep a clean sheet. Whether it's in this division, I don't know, but one day we will. It might be at Barnsley away or whatever.
Yeah,
but we will.
We'll win. That's it. One day, and hopefully it's at Spurs. That would be a good time to win, mate. That would be a great time to win, is to beat Spurs. But like I've said for many weeks now, there's no reason for me to believe in this team until they give me a reason to believe, until they show me something. I'm not going to go into games believing we can win because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen nothing from this team. So prove us wrong, team. Prove that you've got some sort of respect and pride in yourselves as professionals. Until then, they're just losers in my eyes. So yeah, that's it, mate. Well, look, everyone, let's try to switch off. I've got title fan cams, but after that, I'm going to try not to think about West Ham. Don't let it ruin your week too much. Like I said, we'll be back post-match pint tomorrow. Obviously, we've got the Friday night pints, transfer news, and we'll be covering the QPR game, FA Cup. Oh, God. So thank you all for watching, and one thing left to say. Come on, you wine.